So, after the Syrian presidential elections, we had coverage, well, if you can call it coverage, about these elections in Syria, right? And, when it comes to covering the elections in Syria, there's bad coverage, which is most coverage, and then you have TYT bad coverage, okay? So I'm going to play you a few excerpts from their clip when they're talking about the elections that just took place in Syria. And wow. I mean, get ready. Really, get ready. It's bad. It's that bad. Okay, so we're going to start from the top.
Syria just held its presidential election, and unsurprisingly, Bashar al-Assad won his 4th term, which means he'll be serving another 7 years as the president of the country in what I'm sure was a totally free and fair election. I'm sure that there was no funny business going on, nothing undemocratic taking place.
Okay, first of all, look, why don't you drop the sarcasm and actually tell us what the funny business is? We keep hearing in the media that the election had funny business. Okay, well, what is it? Like, you call yourself a journalist or a reporter. What is it? Is she going to tell us anything? No, she's not. But let's continue, right? Let's continue because this is not the worst of it.
As an individual who identifies on the left, you can both be against United States intervention or the United States meddling in these types of situations and also acknowledge when undemocratic behavior takes place. And that certainly is the case in the country of Syria.
Okay, so hold on a second. Remember, she's saying that they're against imperialism, right? They're against intervention. Really? And they're pro-democracy, really? Can you explain to me how you care about democracy in Syria and you don't tell us that most Syrians support Bashar al-Assad? The will of the majority reigns supreme in what you're saying, right? How do you not mention this key basic fact that most Syrians support Bashar al-Assad if you care about democracy, right? So they're saying that there was funny business during the elections. I can't give any examples or proof because they have none. Then she's saying that, oh, well, look, man, we're totally against intervention, but we're going to repeat the same crap that people who are pro-intervention say. And then, we're going to say that, this is all about democracy, even though we're going to completely omit the fact that most Syrians support Bashar al-Assad. But no, we totally care about democracy, right? We need to give the Syrians democracy. Wow, this is incredible. This is incredible. What else do they have for us?
First, let's start off with the fact that not everyone was allowed to vote in this presidential election. So Deutsche Welle reports that not everyone within the country is allowed to vote. The country is home to the world's largest number of displaced people, with millions of domestic refugees in the northwestern province of Idlib and in areas in the east that are outside of the government's control, run by Turkish troops.
Yeah, not everyone was allowed to vote. You know why? Tell us, Anna. Tell us why not everyone was allowed to vote. Are you going to tell us about Syrian citizens not being able to vote in Germany, in Canada, in France because they were blocked from going to the consulate? Are you going to tell us about that? No? Why not, Anna? She's not going to tell you that, right? No. She's going to say that the Syrian government is blocking people from voting. That the Syrian government, Bashar al-Assad, is excluding people from voting in the election. And in the same sentence, look at the same sentence, what she says. People outside government-controlled areas. Why would they not be able to vote in the election? Do you think it's maybe got something to do with the fact that those areas are controlled by the opposition? Of course, Al-Qaeda is not going to let you vote for Bashar al-Assad or anyone in the election in Idlib. You know why? Because it's being run by Al-Qaeda. Of course, any opposition-held areas are not going to let people vote in the election because they are the opposition and they are boycotting the elections. No. She's trying to make you think that the Syrian government is blocking people from voting. And she doesn't tell you about how there are so many Syrians who want to vote for him abroad and who can't because they've been blocked by Western countries. So again, they care so much about democracy, right? They care so much that they're blocking Syrians from exercising their right to participate in their own elections. Wow, this is amazing.
Or their proxy militia, run by Turkish troops or their proxy militia, and they're the ones who have the say.
She just told you, look, she just read the sentence, right? Turkish troops or their proxy militias have the say. Yes, exactly. She's telling you in that same sentence why people cannot vote outside government control areas, and she still tries to blame the Syrian government. I mean, this is just pure ignorance. It's astonishing. Get ready, she's not done, huh? You see the next sentence?
Now, the Kurdish majority in northern Syria is also excluded from being able to vote in the.
Okay, wait. Okay, hold on. First of all, what is this Kurdish majority? Where is this Kurdish majority? There is no Kurdish majority in northern Syria. What are you talking about? She just made that up. Well, Deutsche Welle made it up. There is no Kurdish majority anywhere in Syria. You know, when you go and you watch these like shitty, cheap Vice documentaries where they try to glorify what the Kurds are doing with their separatist stuff in northeastern Syria, right? They don't even call it Al-Hasake, which is the proper name of the area. They don't call it Hasake, they call it Rojava or Rajova, whichever it is. Even in that area, Kurds are not a majority. Any person can go on Wikipedia and Google this. Okay, go on. Look, here's Hasake. This is the first province. Okay? You can read that. Look at the current demographics. Read that for me, please. How many Arab villages are there? 1,161. Kurdish villages, 453. Can you tell me what kind of fucked up math they are doing over at TYT? How is 453 out of 1717? How is 453 out of 1,717 a majority? Can you explain that to me? This is a majority? What are you talking about? Okay, that's Al-Hasake. You want to look at Deir ez-Zor? I'll pull that up too, man. Okay, ethnic Arabs make up 90% of the population of Deir ez-Zor governorate. All right, the vast majority of them are Sunnis. And here's the source in Arabic. These two, look, I'm going to show you on the map, right? Northern Syria. These two areas, which have these are the areas in Syria where you will find the most Kurds, okay? And even in those areas, they're not a majority. So this is Hasake, okay? And here is Deir ez-Zor. Okay, so let me highlight them for you on the map. Okay, you have Hasake province and then Deir ez-Zor. This is Hasake, all of here, and then you have Deir ez-Zor. I wish you would highlight the whole province for us so we can see that. There you go. Hasake province, and then this is Deir ez-Zor. So in both of these areas, the majority of the population is Arab. So where is she getting this made up nonsense that there is a Kurdish majority? There is no Kurdish majority. What is she talking about, man? Most Kurds in Syria have Syrian nationality. They can vote in the elections. The ones who don't have it refused to take it when they were offered it decades ago. Okay? This is just completely made up. Kurdish majority. What a bunch of nonsense.
In this election.
It's not even news. The news is that he didn't win by 99%, because that's what happens when you kill, maim, displace, and otherwise completely control the opposition.
What? Completely control the opposition? How does Bashar al-Assad completely control the opposition if half the country is under opposition rule, you stupid fucking clown? Half the country is not under his control. How does he control the opposition? What planet do you live on, you fucking clown, you dunce? Look at this clown. She's unbelievable.
I think there were a couple of candidates who ran against him that he himself may have selected, like many autocrats tend to do.
Did you hear what she said? I think I think there may have been other candidates who ran against him. Yes, there were. And he may have selected them. Oh, so you're talking out of your ass. You don't even know. She can't even get her story straight. She thinks, oh, he may have done. This is reporting, right? I think. Yeah, may he have done that? You know, I don't know. Yeah, oh yeah, he did. He totally did. Thanks for watching TYT. What is this horse manure? What is this horse manure?
To run against him, the joke being maybe those candidates even voted for him themselves.
She has no clue how Syrian politics work. Okay? She has no clue. She is talking straight out of her ass. Okay? Bashar al-Assad, the government does not choose the candidates. Okay? The candidates are approved. They're approved by the People's Assembly. Okay? Let me pull this up. Okay? They're approved by the People's Assembly, and then you have the Supreme, the Constitutional Court that makes the final approval. Listen, man, there's criteria for this. You can't just put your favorite person in the election. You need 35 seats in Parliament. There's an entire process. She has no clue. I don't think she can even place Syria on a map. She has no clue what she's talking about. And can you think this is where people get their foreign policy from? Can you imagine what an atrocity that is? There are people who actually come and watch this channel and think that what they're saying is true. Unfortunately, though, you can go and watch any mainstream media channel and they will say the same thing, which is why TYT is gutter journalism. It's garbage. It's no different from Deutsche Welle. It's no different from, Sky News, Channel 4, BBC. It's so different. It's garbage. They all sound the exact same. But, we got to give TYT credit for being especially bad.
It is not me or like my government's role to at all intervene to create democracy. But sure as hell, there are many Syrians who've lost their lives trying to continue what was the Arab Spring that popped off more than 10 years ago to actually break the Assad stranglehold on the country. And look what has happened since.
What is she talking about? Do you hear that fake sympathy voice she's trying to do? Look, it's not my place to do that, but maybe there are a lot of Syrians. Shut the fuck up, you imperialist swine. Get the fuck out of my face. خراي عليكم ما بتسووا السرمايتي. ولادين الكلب ولادين الحرام. These motherfuckers, they sound like the CIA. They sound like the DOD. They sound like the goddamn people at Whitehall. They're no different. Oh, it's not my place to bring democracy and, to interfere, but I'm totally going to say the same motherfucking shit that people who've been trying to interfere in Syria have been saying for the last 10 years. The same shit. What Arab Spring? The entire Arab Spring in Syria has been a coup d'etat. They've been trying to get rid of Bashar al-Assad because they've been trying to get rid of Bashar al-Assad, okay? Most Syrians support him, whether you like that or not. You don't care about democracy. If you did care about the will of the majority, you would say this. You would state this fact. I mean, you don't even have to care about the will of the Syrian people and the majority of the Syrian people to state this fact. If you call yourself a journalist, you should say the fucking truth. Not because you support that, but because it's the fucking truth. And they can't even do that because these people are scum. They're imperialist scum. Right? And they try to pretend to be like woke imperialists, right? They're woke imperialists. Look, man, we totally against intervention, but maybe that intervention is good, right? Because like democracy and stuff, right? Fucking gutter journalism, man.
The government claimed over 18 million eligible voters took part, but because ballots were only offered in areas.
Hold on, you know something? I want to say something, man. By the way, they both blocked me, Anna and Francesca, right? They have pre-blocked me because they know what's coming. If they think that this Syrian Arab Spring is so nice, you know what? I want her to go live in Idlib. Go live in Idlib, Francesca. I want you to go live there, right? This opposition, this revolution that you are glorifying. Go and live there, right? You know what they would do to her? She would not even be allowed outside the house in Idlib under Al-Qaeda. She would have to wear a niqab. She would never see daylight. You think she would have a job there? You think they'd let her report? This woman would have no future there in this opposition and this revolution that she's glorifying. They're so good sitting there and talking about it. They have no clue about Syria. They have no clue about the Middle East. Fuck you, imperialist motherfuckers. You Al-Qaeda supporting pieces of shit.
Under government control, only just over 10,000 were actually able to vote, while
Anna apparently forgot how to read. That says 10 million. That says 10 million, okay? So apparently they just don't like the results. They just read it, right? She can't even read it, actually. She says 10,000 people were able to vote instead of 10 million. And then she says, well, you know, clearly it's a sham election because Deutsche Welle said that and CNN said that. So clearly it's a sham election, right? That's their only criteria for substantiating these facts. That's it. Right? Because obviously, in their minds, they don't understand that most people support Bashar al-Assad in Syria. It doesn't enter because that doesn't suit the regime change. That doesn't suit their bullshit.
according to the official results, Assad won over 13 million votes.
Yes. You know why? Because you had a huge turnout. You had a huge turnout, which even some of your so-called democracies do not have, right? 78%? 78%? Can you show me the last time the US had 78% turnout? This is in a war. This is during a war. And they did that. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? And I love how they say, according to the official results. Can you please tell me which authority is supposed to issue the results about the Syrian presidential elections? Al-Qaeda? McDonald's? Of course, it's according to the official results. Who the fuck else would give you the results? Who else? Putain, c'est pas possible. Again, they want to tell you this is a fake election. They want to tell you it's a sham, and they can't even prove it. They have not a shred of evidence to prove that it's fake. And they never tell you that most Syrians support him. They can't tell you that. It just doesn't work because all of this goes down the toilet. It means garbage because it is garbage.
You saw Bashar al-Assad voting in Douma, which is a suburb of Damascus, which was the site of a chemical attack that has been...
Oh yeah, you know, because Francesca, she knows Damascus really well, right? In Douma, which is like a suburb of Damascus. Oh yeah, right? She totally knows Damascus really well, right? She was there. Oh yeah, she saw the gas canister fall from the plane. She saw the chemical attack, everything, right?
Contested by himself, by a lot of state actors and proxies, including Russia, saying, no, over 100 civilians did not die in that attack. They staged the attack on themselves.
Okay. Listen here, you Pinocchio nose-lying motherfucker. The OPCW fact-finding mission are not working for Russia or Assad's proxies or Bashar al-Assad. You fucking dishonest gutter journalist, okay? The Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons, Ian Henderson, the fact-finding mission, the fucking scientists who went there to Douma, who know what they're talking about because they're scientists and they don't talk out of their asshole like you. They said that no gas attack happened. What are you now, a fucking ballistics expert? You do forensics? WikiLeaks has never, ever published something false. They have 100% solid reporting, okay? The Douma documents from the OPCW, we saw all of them. We covered them on this channel. There was no gas attack according to the same scientists, the very scientists who went there. You had trace amounts of chlorine, no symptoms that are typical of a gas attack in the victims. The gas canister was placed there manually. All of this proof from the OPCW themselves, these leaked emails, all of the documents are online. Any person can go and read them. This is why they put people like Julian Assange in jail, right? This is why they put whistleblowers in jail, because they leak the proof that they do not want people to see. And now she's calling these scientists and whistleblowers, she's calling them Russian proxies and I don't know what other word salad she just made up. They make these smears up. They just make up bullshit. They did the same thing to Aramate, by the way, on TYT. They called him also a bunch of names because he's reported on this as well, right? We had him on the channel too. So, I mean, they just make up smears. These people are so criminal. There used to be a time where you had to have undeniable proof before you went and said something like that about another person, right? No, now they just openly call scientists liars. This is science denial, Democrat version. That's what it is, right? This is the Democrat version. Although it's the imperialist version because all of them do it, Republican, Democrat, doesn't matter, right? It's unbelievable. So they're saying that, because Bashar al-Assad, he cast his vote at the site of the Douma gas attack, which never fucking happened because There's no proof that it happened. And it was just a pretext used by the US and the UK and France to bomb Syria. Because, of course, they would tell the truth, right? Just like they did in 2002 and 2003 in Iraq. When they said they said Saddam has weapons of mass destruction, they were totally telling the truth, right? So, of course, when they say it about Syria, it also has to be true, right? Yo, have you been under a rock or something? It's not just that we know you should never trust the West when they make allegations about WMDs. It's that we have evidence. I just showed it to you, right? We've just covered this. There are so many emails here, internal emails. We have the toxicology reports. We have everything. We have the proof that there was a cover-up. They omitted the findings of the scientists, right? And again, once again, I want to ask you a question now. Can you please explain to me what this has to do with the Syrian elections? You started your reporting, so-called reporting, by saying that these elections were illegitimate. Have you provided a shred of evidence to substantiate that claim? Just a little bit. No, nothing at all. They've just been making stupid, sarcastic voices and just coming here and calling OPC scientists, trying to mention the Douma gas attack story, which has nothing to do with the elections, and smear the scientists of the OPCW at the same time and call them Russian proxies or whatever. God damn it. God damn it. You can't win, man. You can't win with these people. They're not interested in reporting or the truth. They're just scum. They do the bidding of the establishment, the British establishment, the French establishment, the American establishment, just the West, right? And their regime change bullshit. These countries, these same countries, and Israel, of course, who have been occupying Syria, who have been trying to dismantle and destroy Syria for decades and decades, right? This is colonialist bullshit. I'm not saying we support intervention, but, we support intervention. And we're going to say the same things about intervention that the West does. I mean, this is astonishing to me. You can tell that these people, number one, they are completely ignorant. And number two, they do support intervention because they do not even have one legitimate critique about Assad, right? Well, you could go and find me a list of critiques about any politician in the world, right? This gas attack is made up. It did not happen. So you're repeating Western propaganda, and on top of that, you have nothing else to say. It's astonishing. It's astonishing, really. And, some people say that, oh, look, man, they took this Clinton money and so-and-so, that therefore they're corrupted. Yeah, that's bad enough. But I want to make a point here. It's not just that TYT takes Clinton donor money, whatever, who the hell gave them that crap. You need to understand something. These people are ignorant as fuck. They don't even know where Syria is on a map. They have no clue what they were talking about. They are ignorant. Yes, they're dumbasses. They don't know what they're talking about. Sometimes it's that simple. So on top of being corrupt, they can also be dumb. Well, they're primarily dumb, I would say. Yeah, you go to TYT, they don't know how to talk about anything outside of Republican Democrat. That's it. And even then, it's atrocious. Even then, right? Their only thing where they actually kind of have some idea what they're talking about, they don't. They completely don't. And then they go and they cover the Syrian election. Motherfucker, Syrians themselves don't even know what the hell is happening in Syria because there's a war going on. And now you want to come here and tell us what's happening in the country? There is no way in hell Bashar al-Assad is still president after 10 years of Israel, the United States, Turkey, France, Qatar, Saudi Arabia trying to get rid of his ass. And he doesn't have support from the Syrian people. You cannot stay in power without the support of your own people for 10 fucking years. That's not happening. That's not happening. You're a lunatic. This is astonishing diarrhea. I mean, really, again, there's bad coverage and then there's TYT bad coverage. They just take it to another level. Well done. Congratulations. Congratulations. Well done on your diarrhea report. Good job. Good job.